Might be.
Shit.
I think it's a mix between 2 and 3. They kind of like overlap with each other. But Act 3 is very in itself is very much solid.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Well, I know Act 3 for sure. You're in the underground area, like the you break into that place, right? Where with the crypt and stuff.
Yeah, I can't remember. Right, okay, my mind's going a little bit blank at the minute.
Well,
We'll move on. Let's just go
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. One thing I was gonna say, dude, and this is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but we were talking about Anya dying and stuff, dude. When they free Marcus from that pod, dude, I thought they killed him for a second.
I didn't believe it
No,
because
I actually did, man. I'm like, fuck, they
actually
killed Marcus.
I won't go on my high horse and think that. I will say I did think it a little bit, but at the same time, I remember my friend watching the launch trailer with me, and he saw that Marcus got the Snatcher was grabbing his throat, and he's like, "Marcus is dead." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "It's too easy. You're gonna do a Han Solo effect. It's too easy. It's too predictable to kill Marcus off from the first game since the new revamp. I just don't think they have the balls to kill him yet."
I
And
didn't I didn't think so either. Like that they had the balls for it, but
they did
like
it
in the
well.
trailer, yeah, in the trailer, I was like, no, he's not gonna die. Like for a second, I
Yeah.
thought, holy fuck, what? But then later on, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think they're gonna kill him. And then in the game though, when they free the pod and he comes out, and Marcus's eyes are just open and he's not breathing and his eyes are like bloodshot, dude, I was like, holy shit, they killed Marcus. Like I freaked out for a moment. I'm like, I can't believe they killed Marcus. This is so fucked up, and it was such an emotional scene.
Yeah.
And I actually I liked that scene. I thought it was really powerful. And then when he was alive, it I don't think it kind of felt a little not like a cop out, but it kind of felt a little bit like cheap to do that to us, but at the same
Yeah,
time I was so happy he was alive.
that's the thing, though.
You know what I mean?
You feel like it's cheap though, but they did it intentionally for that reason.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
obviously did it
exactly.
because they wanted to get you that. Like you're fucking wanker. And it's like you obviously want to kill him off, but then it's like that thing, like I got you. It was a very hard thing for me to swallow then because I was like, shit, he's not dead. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like, thank God. For that.
But that whole segment, by the way, I thought was really good. That's what I mentioned earlier in the show. That whole segment where you really got to know JD and Dell and Kate was in that part. That's really where the dynamic of the group, I think, was a lot better established than the opening when you're with Oscar. And then, oh, dude, how cool is the sequence where you were going up those rails on the broken elevator?
Oh,
And he had
yeah,
to
that
shoot
was
with the
cool.
gun.
I didn't think you'd
Oh,
play that.
you didn't
I
play
said that to
that?
my friend. Was like, no, I said to my friend, I didn't think they'd let us play it.
Yeah, yeah, that was another
I thought it was
moment.
gonna be like, I thought it was gonna be one of those cutscene moments.
Right,
They
yeah.
actually let us play it, and I was like, oh wow, I was like, that's quite cool.
Yeah, that was that was a fun moment, man. And I'm trying to think what happens after that. And then they kind of get into the end of the game after that. Like
Yeah, the Act 5 is really well structured because it kind of just gets the momentum and just goes to the finish line, which
Yeah.
Gears has always done. It's like kind of like just gets to the point. 4 is very much like heavy filled as well with a lot of stuff.
I like 4 though. 4 had that awesome boss battle, remember? With
yeah, it did.
what's his
we
name?
meet
The
we meet the
speaker?
speaker.
Yeah.
We meet the speaker at this point. I mean, like the main thing we haven't touched on is that the swarm is locust.
Yeah. They're
That's
like
the big
an
revelation,
evolution
which-
of the locust, yeah.
Which I didn't really was insulted by either. I felt like I was like, right, okay.
It works. I think it works.
Yeah, I think it works because like he doesn't explain Marcus, like he explains like, you know, they built those pits and they threw all the dead locust bodies in, and then you go into those rooms, they have like 1,500 hammer bursts.
Yeah.
Just like weapon pickers, because like what are you supposed to do with that shit? Like how much stuff did they pick up? They killed an entire population of species. It's like, you know, killing off every pigeon and then finding a hole to build, bury in. It's not E.T. the game. You have to get a bigger landfill to like kind of get rid of things. It's kind of cool going to that space, and like even Marcus realizing like, he's like, my team was meant to get sent in there and they were all dead. And it's like, wait a minute, and then Marcus realized it was a bigger scale of like how many people that died. It wasn't just like 6 people that died in there. But I did like the revelation that the swarm is the evolution of the locust, because it does make sense. That's why they can have like even more obscure kind of designs on certain things. And like that's why they have like a lot of like kind of links with things. You'll kind of realize even more when we get into the ending. It's like a little bit like, okay, fair enough.
Which, yeah, by the way, going back to our trying to connect this to Force Awakens, that's another thing that was similar. The Swarm is basically the Locusts, but evolved. Just like how the First Order is literally, for the most part, the Empire, but
Yeah,
evolved. You know what I mean? So
like,
that's
yeah,
another connection that who we're fighting in this game is very similar to who we fought in the previous trilogy, except it's different. You know, like they're more of like an evolved, more modernized, and better, I guess, better version, for lack of a better word, than who we fought in the last one. And I
yeah,
was totally down with that. I thought it was great.
yeah. I liked it. I think the only problem I had was the speaker was. It was a cool fight in the Swarmak. I like that the Swarmak was the Brumak. It was linking the chains to the fact that the Locusts aren't dead. Like, you know,
Yeah,
all those characters are, you know, people like are going to fight a Brumak in this game. No, you'll fight a Swarmak. It's like a thing where it's like, you know, it's even more powerful because it's that.
yeah,
It's now part of the Swarm. You know, it has those gold pieces which make it like almost indestructible because Liam Marcus is like, I can't break this apart, and you have to use the loader to
yeah.
break it. It was a cool boss fight. I feel like it was a little bit of a shame that the speaker died so quickly. I felt like those. I always have a problem with games where they kill off, like, you know, characters like that just in one game. You don't necessarily have to kill someone off. It's like the thing with
Yeah,
people like. That's why people really liked the Force Awakens. Is like they didn't just kill Kylo Ren off. And
yeah.
be like, you know
Kylo
what?
and
It's like
he,
Darth Maul. They killed Darth Maul. He was one of the coolest villains they ever had in that fucking series. He was so badass. And it's like he dies. It's like, oh. And then the
well,
next character. And it was
the
like, oh.
yeah, the speaker kind of felt to me like a shitty version of Ram. If
They
that
should have
makes any
twisted it to
sense.
be him Ram. He should have just been Ram.
That
So I
I
remember all
mean,
the links people were like pointing out these things where it's like, you know, like features that were similar between the speaker and Ram. And
yeah,
people thought the speaker was Ram, and I was like, that would have been cool because that would have been cool because they could have killed Marcus off as well, and the speaker kills him off.
yeah. Wow, like it goes around like full
Round
circle.
two, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the you know
Well, that's kind of
the force is complete.
dude, I realized, yeah, that's actually a recurring theme in every Gears game that like there's always a temporary, well, except for Mira, I guess, because in the first game it was Ram, he died. In the second game it was fuck, what was
Technically
the
speaking, though, Mira is always the main leader, though, because they even
yeah,
put her in the end of the Ultimate Edition, the
that's
Gears of War
true.
Ultimate Edition. They cropped her in. It's meant to
Yeah,
be like the sub boss or the lieutenant towards her, like, you know, the general commander.
yeah,
As
yeah, kind of like
kind of said that
in the
Scourge and Ram and like, you know, up to obviously Mira when she becomes the main villain in the third game.
yeah, like in the prequels, how Palpatine was kind of like the main villain, the Phantom Menace, if you would, over all three of them. But in each movie, like Maul was the bad guy in the first one, Dooku was the bad guy in the second.
There you
I
go.
mean, Dooku's kind of in part three, but really it was General Grievous was the main bad guy of that one. So yeah, like that's something Gears does. They always have like
Yeah,
a temporary.
a sub boss.
I
Sub
don't think,
boss.
except for Gears 3, I don't think there was a sub boss. Like Mira was straight up
No, it's just
the
Mira. That's
yeah,
that's when they were wrapping up the story, like in
yeah,
that kind of sense. On
yeah,
that
yeah.
front line because Lambert came about, so it's Lambert versus Locust versus the Cog. Um, no, I enjoyed it. I feel like they did kill Speaker off, and I was a little bit like, oh, because he's like so badass, and they made him out to be really badass when he storms the village. He's like, you know, attacking Rainer, he's attacking Oscar, and he's fucking shanks Oscar as well.
Yeah.
You know, it was really cool. So I was kind of a little bit disappointed in that front, but at the same time, like me saying he's Ram, and then he fights Marcus, it's like a little bit too much, like, you know, over the top fan fiction where you like, excuse my language, jerking yourself off over like, you know, fictionalizing something.
The next villain
Uh,
dude should be Ram's son, and his name is Ram Dash In. So he's
no,
Ramen, like ramen.
talk about taking fucking advertising to the next level. Either that or it's called Rammed with an ED on the end of it.
Rammed. I am rammed. God damn it! Like he's really pissed all the time.
Can
Like,
you imagine if you said the phrase "I am being rammed"?
I would so be okay with that. Like Ram had a son. He totally fucked other locusts on the side, and you know,
It's ramming time.
it's
Right,
Ram.
okay,
Yeah, that's his
we're getting away.
catchphrase.
Right, we're going completely off topic. Let's get back
Yeah.
onto the podcast. But no, the story was all right on that front. Like, I accepted it in the end. I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
whatever. It takes a long time for the first leader of the cog, Jin, to come back, and then she comes back and she just rants and raves like usual, and then she kind of reveals that the cog knew that the swarm existed in some kind of capacity, and like
Yeah.
she doesn't even send a help, or we don't. The thing is though, as well, I think the next game really has to establish how big the cog's force is because it must be massive. The DBs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
And but like, actually, I'm gonna read back as well. I found it really good because they tapped into the Gears mythology, and they did a really great scene when you walk through the hospital. in
Oh,
the
right,
part of
and
the
you get
campaign,
that
and they have
collectible.
yeah, and then they have the posters up during the propaganda, and then like Kate's almost like, I can't believe like they're still doing stuff like this, and it
Yeah.
was a really throwback because like in the Gears mythology, like a lot of the stuff that Craven Travis or something wrote, like they kind of explain like a lot of those places were like almost like where cog soldiers like raped women, you know, outsiders and stuff because
Mm,
they were forced to have children, or they like they embedded them with like eggs so they could have children. It
right.
was like it's almost like against your own will. So it's kind of like women were like very much, or like we're bringing the social kind of thing. Like it was bringing in a very big factor where I was like I kind of really took it on board, and I kind of like really appreciate that they acknowledged it for what it was in that kind of mythology. Even like Sam mentions it in the third game about how they kind of did that stuff. Like with those hospitals, like they'll set up so they have women go in there and give birth to children because they want to repopulate the earth.
Yeah, that was something. It's almost, I liked how they almost didn't touch up on it. How it was kind of like
Well,
a side thing. I like that.
that's what I mean though. Like that's what I meant, kind of said wanted to imply is it was a passing by thing. It wasn't
Yeah.
like all central where cutscenes start playing or anything else. It was very much just in the structure of the story. It doesn't really
Yeah.
have to be a focal point of the story. It's just passing by where you pick up something like that, and it's like almost like a subsection of like previous stories and kind of like showing you what's happening with the story of how like going forward they're still doing something like this, and it has to be something like they're going to keep doing, and like how Kate's reaction towards it being is like that's what she's like. I'm happy to be an outsider, so I don't have to like have to have children or do this or that. Um, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, dude, I think that was great. I dug it. I thought it was a great. No, it worked. It was fine. Like it was something
Yeah.
that it was like a little thing that they left there for you. That if you happen to look into it, like if you get the collectibles and that was like one of the first collectibles I got actually, and I thought like, wow, that's powerful. That this is like this is something that is happening here. Like and I don't think they need to touch up on it. I think that's a good background thing. That to me sounds like something that if they ever want to do another Karen Travis story, they could totally do that and it would work out. It'd be something they could add to the mythology. Um
Yeah, definitely.
but so I guess moving on to like the final act, I guess, to kind of like not wrap things up quite yet, but just to take it home, I guess. Um yeah, I thought the final act was cool. I loved how we had one last kind of like defense thing. And dude, I so
Yeah,
kicked ass in that defense thing. I had so many.
it's cool, isn't
I
it?
felt bad leaving my turrets. I was like, "You guys helped me so much. I'm sorry," and I had to leave.
Yeah,
Like I felt bad, but it was like my companion cube for this game. But no, yeah, but like once you get into those giant mechs, that was so fucking cool.
yeah.
Like that was such a
Obviously,
great sequence,
your
man.
character's coming back as well. Sam,
Oh yeah,
well, everyone came back at that point as well. Like it took
yeah,
5 acts, and they did come back. Like again, they weren't hugely central. And obviously, I think they kind of established other stuff they're going to tell with the kind of bad blood between JD and Bad.
right.
Like he kind of always references like you have to call him. It's like, oh, do we have to call him? Like and there's still kind of show that kind of like divide between the two.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a lot of stuff there, and obviously Bear's bald, which are like fucking shocking, like in itself.
He lost all his
Um,
shit, man.
I know, and then Cole is still Cole, which is good. Like the train baby, woo. And I like Sam being there as well, and like kind of like the subtle nod between Sam and Bear, kind of continuing on like that
Oh,
quote quote relationship.
yeah, that's
Um,
that scene where Marcus is like, "Your wife's in there," and he's like, "It's she's not my
no,
wife technically," and blah blah, blah. And he just gives Marcus
he
gives him a
basically
look
explained,
like, "Shut the
yeah,
fuck up," like that kind of look, like, "Dude, that's your
yeah,
wife."
it kind of explains like they are kind of like just sleeping around with each other. It's like no emotional kind of commitment towards anything else. No, I really like that. Like when you're in the mechanical outfits as well, we kind of realize that DB Industries is Damon Baird, DB, the
Yeah,
initials. It took me so long when I clocked on that straight away. There, I was like, fuck. I was like, because me and my friend did say it. We had an idea that Baird would be the mechanical person behind the DBs. We kind of sussed that out because we were like, he must be the big part of building all these robots and stuff. But I never sussed out DBs coming from DB. It's just I thought that was really cool. I thought it was a really kind of like little quip.
yeah.
Um,
You were telling me off cast, you're like, I think you'll. I don't know, dude. Like, I didn't think about it, but then when you actually think about it, it's kind of cool. And I didn't get what you meant by that. And then when
yeah,
it came up, I'm like, of course it's Baird. Like, it just makes
yeah,
sense, right? Like, he's always was like he finally got his his like toolbox, his like big what is it called, like toy box to play with, and he made
Yeah.
these fucking robots and he named after him.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
what I mean.
asshole that he
It's
is, you know?
yeah, exactly. It's perfect. It's very, very fitting.
Yeah.
That chapter was good. It was very fast paced. The ending, like, I mean, the boss battle was very boring. It was like a really
Yes.
generic. The high boss
Terrible.
is like, it was like, oh, it's almost going back to like the Gears 2 thing where they did the where you fight the Lambert Brumac. It
Right.
was like literally 2 seconds, but it's a bit more detailed in the fight. But it was just a little bit like it was just a random thing that plowed out the ground. It was like the thing from Star Wars
It
that
was
Chewbacca
boring.
that
Yeah.
that Chewbacca Jabba the Hutt feeds people to.
The Sarlacc.
Yeah, the Sarlacc. It's essentially the evolution of the Sarlacc.
The
It's
almighty
evolution, it's pretty
Sarlacc
much
will pay here your pleas before death. It was terrible. Yeah, it was a boring boss battle. It was pretty easy to do. It was boring. It just felt like, what was the point of this? You could have used this time to do something. I think they just wanted you to shoot at something really big before the game ended. And they're like,
True.
there you go. I thought the boss battle, going back a little bit, I thought the boss battle with the speaker was way better. I think that
Yeah.
should have been the last boss battle, personally. That was a fun one. But yeah, I
Boss-
didn't dig the last one. I thought it was
Are boss
bad.
battles becoming niche though?
Yeah, there's not really a lot of them in Gears. It's kind of like,
Even Metal Gear Solid 5 as well. That was a staple for a game that had boss battles,
yeah.
and they diluted that. And Gears of War used to have pretty like ROM and like you have like mirror stuff. It's kind of like
It's dying out.
yeah, which is a shame as well because I might be very traditional in the sense, but I think boss battles are fucking epic when
Oh,
they're
they
done right.
can. Oh, hell yeah.
Uh,
God of War has some of the best boss
God of
battles.
War, Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid 5, Metal Gear Solid, sorry. Just generally, like, those series used to have, like, benchmark of, like, staple features. Final Fantasy pretty much is sticking with them, though, because they're fucking hard as well.
Yeah.
I never finished fighting Boonavent, what's he fucking called? Boonavent?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I can't remember his name. What's it called? Boonavent? Oh, fucking hell, it's gonna be the time. I'm so much trying to pronounce his name. No, I never finished it in that sense, because it was, like, fucking hard.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
really hard.
I YouTubed the endings.
well, like-
Fuck that. Like, it was too much for me.
But no, like that was that, and then we got into the ending, which was like we were a little bit different on this one.
Oh yeah,
but-
so here's where Adnan and I divide. Okay, so basically the ending, let's talk about it. It ends that so after hitting that after destroying the Sarlacc, you go you JD and the crew go in to like a nearby place, and they see that Reyna, Kate's mom, is basically has become the Hive's network. She's like, in a way, the queen, if you would, and that if you remove her, basically if she gets cut down from where she is, she's gonna die. But she tells Kate, I want you to kill me. Like, I want to die. Basically, she wanted to die a human and not live a monster. And before she does, she gives Reyna gives Kate her mother, so Kate's grandmother's amulet. And Kate cuts her down, she dies, and then you have this emotional scene with Kate and JD where they kind of hug. And again, great moment. It's very much like Ray and Finn. And then you had that great scene with Marcus where he's like, you're gonna need to go to a place that's well protected, or no, a safe place. And she's like, I don't need protection. And he's like, no, but you need time. And it's a great moment because you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, like, he knows, man. And he even says, I know, and he walks away, and you're like, God, that's a man that has a lot of demons in him. And then it ends that,
Keith was gonna make a cameo there.
he's already a demon. And then it ends that they really inspect the amulet that was Reyna's mom, Kate's grandmother's, and it resembles the symbol that Queen Mira had. It kind of resembles it, and then it just cuts to black.
Yeah. Well, I think they do it really well, but and you don't agree with this, but I think they do it really well because like it's a very emotional, touching scene because she comes out of the cave, she's like heartbroken, her feels. She hugs JD, and then she's like talking to him. Obviously, the swarm aren't dead, which is thank God they didn't just kill them off like that.
Right.
But it's just that kind of thing like her mum's died, and then she kind of like reflecting on it, like she's like my mum had this amulet, and then she just turns it over, it has the locust symbol, and it just like cuts the